We are Cactus Wrestling. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos.
Welcome back, everybody, to Cactus Wrestling. It is Monday afternoon, and we have some upsets to talk about in our weekend recap for week 3. Upsets. So, not as many crazy upsets this week. No number ones going down, which is
No Vito losing.
a first for us this season. Matt Ramos, Vito, you would think that 141 Real Woods. We started at 25, then 33. If you go up to 141, Real Woods. No, Real Woods looked good. I think he teched this guy at Oregon State today. But
yeah, he did.
Anyway, though, speaking of Iowa, Gabe Arnold has arrived, taking out Travis Wittlake 4-2. Were you expecting this, Mike?
Well, one, I wasn't even expecting freaking Gabe Arnold to be in the duel, let alone beating Wittlake. That was a surprise.
Brands had mentioned it was between him and who's the other guy?
I don't.
Eden Riggins, I think.
Oh, Riggins, yeah, Riggins.
Yeah. It was either between Gabe Arnold or Riggins. Maybe it was Aiden McCann. I don't know. I'm glad it's Gabe Arnold. Ever since he called out Carter Starachi last year when he was in high school and said, "I'm going to beat you next year," I've been looking forward to that all year.
Is Carter next?
Hey, I mean, Travis Wittlake took 4th place at the NCAAs a few years ago.
He hasn't done so great recently, but yeah.
Still, though, this is the 6th-year veteran guy, and you're up against a true freshman, and you're losing 4-2. I mean,
yeah, that is a good point. Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting because
that's as if they have Arnold be the guy, they might just hold him for the redshirt year.
Well, it was funny because I was listening to Brands' press thing, and he was like, "I'm on record saying I'm not a fan of the 5-match freshman rule."
Oh, yeah, I remember this. Yeah.
But now he's like, actually, I think I'm turning around to it because I don't remember the last time Iowa had a true freshman be
in their lineup. Yeah,
in their lineup.
Yeah.
When was the last time? Maybe people in the comments might be able to remind us. But I feel like Iowa always gets, they're a top destination for the transfer portal, and they always have 3-4 guys deep. So I don't know. The true freshman comes along and can make an immediate impact. It's kind of rare with Iowa, and I think he can. I think Gabe Arnold's as solid as anyone else out there.
I mean, yeah, beating Wittlake in your debut match is, other than the Luther Open.
Well, did you see it? Well, you sent his post match interview. He's like, "I'm a showman. I'd like to put on a show for the people."
Yeah.
I said, at the end of the day, I'm a performer, and everyone that's in those stands, everyone that's cheering for me, even the people that aren't cheering for me, I like to put on a show, and those are the fans. Those are the people I want to go for. Those are the people I'm going to put on a show for. At the end of the day, that's what I like to do. So that was just going through my head because you guys come to watch these meets because we're performers, and what we like to do is put on a show. So we put on a show, and at the end of the day, I put on a show, and I'm glad everyone enjoyed it. Everyone was still cheering for me at the end of the day.
So, I mean, I love that kind of attitude that you want to put on a show and you really want to get after it. And you like the fans ramping him up, like himself up, and he likes, getting the fans all riled up. So, I mean, hopefully come February 9th when Penn State is due to wrestle Iowa, that Gabe Arnold is going to be given the green light, which, I mean, that means he'd be their guy for the postseason, for the rest of the season, if he is in for that duel, because otherwise he's burning a year of eligibility. So I don't see why they would do that. So they're probably still weighing their options at this point because they got the 5 free duels right now to test the waters and see what they want to do.
Do we see him jump into the rankings though?
Oh,
because Wittlake is at least with Intermat is number 11.
Right.
and I don't know Flo. I don't have it up off the top of my head, but I think they gotta put him in because, like you said, he was at the Luther Open. He's got at least 5 matches on the season already.
Right.
Why not put him in the rankings? He just beat a top 10 guy pretty much.
Yeah, no, he Whitlake's 9 on Flow.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Gabe Arnold probably like maybe 15.
I mean, yeah, the brands are probably salivating at that win because they don't have a guy currently ranked by Flow.
Well, it was Nelson Brands and
well, yeah, but with him being out for this season, regardless of if they are able to appeal or whatever, he's gone. Yeah, no, and Intermat, same thing. They don't have an Iowa guy ranked. So a guy that can beat a guy ranked in the top 10 to 15. Yeah, Gabe Arnold's likely going to be their guy.
so yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm excited to see how he develops over the season, and I hope he remains the starter moving forward.
I feel like it'd be more exciting, especially because, like, yeah, they got Brennan Swafford, who was the
He's
NAIA.
at 84.
Yeah, that's at 84, but he's a NAIA national champ. But he got teched.
Oh, he got teched by Trey Munoz.
Still, he got teched.
Trey Munoz could be the national champ this year.
He could be the national champion, but you thinking that Trey Munoz is the national champ and the guy that's All-Americaning is a guy that he could tech? Like,
maybe.
I don't. I think it's unlikely that Swafford's destined for the podium end of the year if that's the case.
Then how did Eddie Ventresca All-American last year?
I know. Well, as this season progresses for him, it's pretty dismal. You're looking into it. He's what, 2-4 at this point?
Man, we don't mean to pick on the guy, but he keeps taking losses. So Max Gallagher of UPenn takes out Eddie Ventresca, and he takes out his own teammate Ryan Miller, who
NCAA qualifier.
So Max Gallagher enters the scene at 125, making
Gallagher's the backup. Like to Miller, because Miller's returning not All-American NCAA qualifier. So like, not a good weekend for Ventresca because I mean he also let it off with losing to Peterson and Rutgers, which I mean on paper he should have lost that match, but still.
Max Gallagher, a freshman too, and he's at UPenn, so they don't really redshirt typically.
Yeah. So Gallagher might be the Crookham of UPenn.
Well, he was the number 3 126 pounder in the nation out of high school. Fargo All-American, Super 30 All-American. So
he's got a nice resume there. So I mean, it sucks for Ryan Miller, who's been their guy for I feel like the past few seasons.
Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe.
Yeah, nobody's safe.
But yeah,
upsets.
Eddie Ventresca loses to Dean Peterson as well.
Yeah, I was just saying. Yeah.
Oh, I totally missed that. Sorry.
Yeah, I was saying that was kind of expected that he would lose to Peterson, but
yeah, I mean, I think we were talking about it last week. I think Ventresca may have been overranked to start the season. He had a great tournament last year, but he also was the 26th seed going in. He's a good wrestler, great wrestler. It's only November, so
but yeah, I mean he's got a losing record in his first 6 matches that he's actually wrestled. That's not what it should be.
Yeah,
as the returning All-American, like
yeah. So moving back to some Iowa guys, we kind of switch topics, but Brody Teske majors Gabe Wisenhunt 18-8, and Gabe Wisenhunt was the guy who beat Sam Latona.
I think that kind of solidifies that it was a fluke.
Yeah, I think so.
the fact that Teske could major this guy, like I think, like I said when the upset originally happened, Latona wrestles Wisenhunt 100 times, he's gonna win 99. Like that was the only way Wisenhunt was coming up with that win.
Yeah, and I mean that just makes the 33-pound rankings all that messier with that one loss for Sam Latona, because I mean, we were talking about this on the phone off camera. I mean, where do you see Ryan Crookham ranking?
Oh, well, I mean, I could see him like reasonably. I see like you beat two guys that are top six. Like I feel like you went from unranked because you weren't even the starting guy. I feel like it's not unreasonable to put you in the top 10. I would ceiling it at top 5 because you've only wrestled 3 matches. Like maybe you just had a great day. I mean, Crookham did pin he pinned Santaniello in his duel against Pitt. So he's 3-0 or 4-0 now.
Santanello is a top 20 guy.
So like I mean, yeah, he's continuing to prove himself, but like I would want him to see him get more matches under his belt before I would kind of start putting him in the top 5 or closer to 1. I know Flo put him boom number 1 numero uno because he knocked off Vito, but I kind of feel like that's jumping the gun because like what if it was like Wiesenhunt? He didn't jump up to number 1. I mean, granted, he didn't beat the number 1 guy, but he didn't jump up to 5.
Well, yeah, he didn't jump Sam Latona.
Like, yeah, he didn't jump Sam Latona, so like I don't see why you would do that. Like, let the guy continue to prove himself with his body of work in the season. If other guys take losses, like, I mean, that's at least where I stand on it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he should replace McGonagall's ranking of 6. I think it was.
Yeah, that's where my McGonagall was.
Yeah, you put Fix up to 1 because Vito takes the loss. Put Vito down to 2, maybe 3, with Nagao as the new 2, somewhere around there. I mean, it's all going to shuffle throughout the season, but I mean, it's very likely that Dayton Fix doesn't take a loss all season, and it's very likely that Ryan Crookham maybe does. So then it's like, oh, okay.
I don't know. Crookham is looking pretty good, but
all right. Speaking of some close 133-pound matches, Sam Latona over Dylan Shawver 4-1 in overtime.
Yeah, in overtime. It was in overtime. Yeah.
Yeah, so Sam Latona keeping things close, but Shawver's a tough wrestler for Rutgers.
Well, yeah, but tying back to Shawver, I mean, yeah, Shawver, like, yeah, he's solid. He qualified for NCAAs and whatnot, but then at the Black Knight Open, he lost to Braden Basile 8-5. I was not expecting that at all.
Yeah.
I was expecting Nagao Shawver to be the matchup, and I was gonna be like, all right, cool. We'll get to see how, Shawver stacks up with Nagao. Or
no, that wasn't the same tournament.
Yeah, it was.
Nagao was at Latona wasn't at Black Knight.
Okay, because they wrestled in a duel.
Oh, that was the duel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those 2 different days.
Yeah.
So Basile lost to Nagao in the finals of the Black Knight. But yeah, I was not expecting Basile of Army to knock off Shawver. That was definitely interesting. I mean, and Shawver's clearly right in the mix if he's having an overtime match with Latona.
And then to make things even more complicated, Kairini goes to overtime with Binghamton's Micah Rose. 11-8 he wins.
I mean, I think that's a bit of a stretch based on...
It was an overtime win? What are you talking about?
Yeah, okay. Well, why don't you describe what happened leading up to that overtime?
Well, yeah. I mean, Kairini is very reckless. He was up 8-1 with 15 seconds to go. They're in kind of like a front headlock position. And Arini thinks it's a great idea right there to do a gator roll straight to his own back. Rose kind of catches him for a 7-point move. It goes to overtime. And I really think that Rose actually had the takedown on the edge and that Arini should have lost that.
In overtime, yeah.
In overtime. I'll put the clip up and comment down below what you think.
Be the judge.
Yeah, did Kairini get lucky here? I mean, it was all of his own doing. Why was he going for a gator roll with 15 seconds less
when you're up by 7?
Yeah,
it's a bold choice.
Yeah, and it's not like Binghamton was going to win the duel. I mean, I know it's these guys want the bonus points, but like Why expose yourself and go to your back?
I
Like you
mean,
take one loss, that's a huge hit for the rest of the year on your record in the seeding.
Orini lets it fly.
Yeah, I guess so. 133. I mean, it's been a wild wait to start.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're not even mentioning Koliako.
Oh, Mike Kolioko loses in the first round.
He had a John Hildebrandt of Drexel. 6.
Another Hildebrandt, not a brother, a cousin of Drew and Sarah Hildebrandt.
Oh my gosh. Like Koliako, like top ranked guy starting off the season. He's already got 2 losses now, right? I think. Like, and then his teammate, Alex Almeida, wins the tournament. And the guy, Hildebrandt, didn't even like, I think he lost his next
I think
match.
he lost his next match, yeah.
So Koliako is
Well,
really
he must look back well. He took third.
okay. But
Everyone is allowed to have one bad match.
yeah.
In November.
Penn, who you starting? Koliako or Almeida?
Yeah, Penn's got some interesting dilemmas in the early weight classes.
Yeah.
How about this? Brendan Kaler over Drake Ayala, 7-6. Brendan Kaler had taken some losses earlier in the year.
I thought Ayala was gonna win by a much larger margin than lose. I was in my head, I did not think Ayala was gonna lose to Kaler, especially after those matches that he lost earlier.
Jet Strickenberger and
Yeah.
well, Spencer Moore, though, for North Carolina, he's had a great start to the season.
Yeah, but even so, I was not expecting Drake.
You didn't like the loss to Jet Strickenberger.
I was not expecting Drake Ayala to lose to Kaler here. I mean, it's a close match, but like I had higher hopes for Ayala.
Yeah, well, I think Kaler's still a tough top 10 worthy guy. I mean, 25 is so wide open, though. So wide open. It could go so many ways.
That's fair. Binghamton continued to have some struggles with their top 10-ish ranked Jacob Nolan losing to Penn State's not even Josh Barr's not even starting, right? He's
no, but he's going to
Truex.
He's going to for the next 4 years, I'm sure.
Oh, right. Yeah. After Truex graduates.
He's their big recruit. He's a top 10 guy out of high school.
I mean, hey, that's a quality win right out the gate there, knocking off Jacob Nolan.
2-1 win, yeah.
Because he had an easier time in the finals, but yeah, like Binghamton had some struggles here, especially when you were telling me about the Mesenbrink Casella match.
Yeah, Brevin Casella for Binghamton, 2-time NCAA qualifier, ranked top 20 somewhere against Mitch Mesenbrink. Casella got the first takedown, and then Mesenbrink reversed him and then just beat the dog out of him. I mean, I hate to say it, but just like completely broke him. Mesenbrink was like literally like almost smacking him and like running to the center of the circle and was super energized. Complete 180 from last week where he looked like death wrestling.
Yeah, he probably saw our comments and was like, all right, yeah, I'll work on conditioning this week.
Yeah, that's right. Definitely after watching the Cactus Wrestling video. I wonder how many guys actually watch this stuff. Who are you people that are watching? Are you just fans like us? Former athletes? I don't know.
But yeah, I was shocked to see Casella get beat that bad.
26-6.
Yeah, like when he loses, it's a lot closer. Like it's not like he doesn't get teched.
No, and Mesenbrink had a 14-point lead and riding time, and then he got a 7-point move. So it's a 20 or
like, for example,
5-point. I don't know what it was.
Mikey Caliendo last year at the NCAAs beat Brevin Casella 6-1. Like, not like a close match, but like that's not like a blowout.
Oh, and then 20-point sack, yeah.
Yeah, like so like Caliendo's a solid guy. He's a top 10 ranked guy. Like, I mean, he All-American. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting how Messenbrink does. He beat his teammate in the finals to
oh, Bearclaw 8-5, yeah.
8-5. So I'm assuming he's gonna be the guy for the rest of the season. He definitely looked better this weekend.
Yeah, like I mean, yeah, after last weekend, it was skeptical that he might be in the conversation for a title, but then maybe they were speaking too soon.
I mean, I don't think he's in contention for a title, but All American
Oh well,
status,
yeah, that's true
maybe.
because he's got Carr, Hamity, and O'Toole. But yeah, maybe top
And a
five.
mean. And a mean.
Oh, and Amin. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. How about Bearclaw with the upset over Caleb Fish, Michigan State?
Yeah, I mean, I can't even be surprised
In
anymore when
overtime.
these Penn State backups beat nationally ranked guys because they are
Well,
that quality. It's just they're
the
behind.
scary thing is Caleb Fish is I'm pretty sure didn't he finish round of 12 last year? Yeah, he was round of 12.
Yeah,
He was a round of 12 guy last year. And he's losing to Penn State's backup. Like that's the quality of Penn State's room. That's bonkers. Like most teams like are like, "Oh yeah, I wish I had a guy that was like, could almost all-American, oh yeah, our backup could almost all-American." Like what?
yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Oh.
And I think Penn State has found their answer at 125 finally. With
Oh, not even with Robbie Howard.
no, and not even Gary Steen,
Yeah.
but Braden Davis.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I mean, Bergink is solid, he's tough and all, but like I mean, he's not like a top 10 guy or anything. So I mean, beating him 5-1, that's a solid win. And especially with Bergink majoring Howard
Yep.
the match before. So yeah, maybe they've found their
This is a way
yeah.
that Penn State has struggled with for years. So I mean, it's not like they need him to perform because they're likely to be team champions without any NCAA qualifier at 25. But uh, it would be nice to see some contribution from that weight class this year.
Which yeah, I mean he might be able to actually produce for them if they end up giving him the nod instead. Um which would just I mean maybe Penn State would be going for that all-time point score record at
I don't
NCAAs.
know how much of a goal that is. I don't know if they talk about that. Like, yeah, this is the year. Let's go for it, guys. I don't know. Maybe when you won the title for so many years in a row, maybe it should be. So how about one of the bigger upsets that we haven't talked about yet? Kyson Tirakina majors All-American Eric Barnett 14-3.
That was wild that happened. Like I was pretty surprised that Tarakina was able to beat him by that large a margin. Like Tarakina's had some quality wins in the past where he's been able to, I mean, I feel like he's been hit or miss. Like he does well and then he doesn't do as well at times. But yeah, that was a big win there and by
Well,
such a large margin.
well, you know what though? They wrestled last year in the duel, and Tirakina beat him 9-7 in overtime. So maybe he's just got his number.
Hey, and he's improving. Because I mean, Tarakina got injured last year, so Tarakina, yeah, he just knows how to beat freaking Eric Barnett. I mean, hopefully he can continue to string that together into a full-on successful season, injury-free. But yeah, that's a great start. I mean, Iowa State as a whole team is looking solid. I mean, you look at the dual meet, like I kind of feel like the end result of the duel over Wisconsin, like despite Iowa State being favored to start, winning 42-0 over a top 20
Yeah.
team. What?
If you're a Big Ten team, especially like Wisconsin, they're usually in the top 10. Like you think Maryland, okay, I could see that.
Yeah.
Maybe even Rutgers. Like I feel like Rutgers maybe on the Michigan State maybe, but not
Yeah.
Wisconsin. I
Wisconsin getting blanked 42-0. And then it's not even like they put out their backups or something. They had their A squad out there and just got worked.
that's an average of a major every match.
That's not good.
Well, and it's interesting too because it's the 3-point takedowns, the different rule changes, so it's easier to get majors,
Yeah.
but still.
Even so, yeah, like still, it's 42-0. It's not like, oh, even without the bonus points, it would have been a lot closer. Like, no, you didn't win a match. I mean,
Yeah.
and the marquee matchup there was at 165.
Right. And I don't think it was much of a surprise to see David Carr beat Dean Hamidi 2-0.
I was a little surprised there was no takedown in the match. That it was just 2-zip. Like that did surprise me a little bit. I thought that there was going to be because I'm pretty sure that the last time they wrestled it was like 7-5. So it was a lot higher scoring. So a little not disappointing, but like little underwhelming that more points weren't flying in that matchup. I would have liked to have seen more points. It just makes it more exciting, but oh well. I mean, Hamidy's clearly right there. He's a takedown away, I'd argue.
I can't get, with that you can't count him out of it. You can't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not like there's no way.
As long as he doesn't wrestle Chamomine. He just cannot beat Chamomine.
As long as he doesn't wrestle Chamomine. Yeah.
I think Chamomine is like 3-0 against him lifetime or something like that. But anyway, so Virginia Tech wrestled Rutgers and not necessarily upsets, but Caleb Henson beats Jacob Butler 5-1, so maybe a little bit closer than expected.
Well, I mean, Butler had the great upset over Alec Pantaleo at the U.S. Open, so
couldn't get this one though.
I couldn't get Caleb Henson, but
Micaiah Lewis beats Jackson Turley 8-3.
Wasn't that like a lot closer till going into the third? Wasn't it like only like 3-2?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was really close going into the third, which I mean, it's kind of like how Micaiah wrestles. Like he finds a way to win. A lot of you in the comments have mentioned that. We don't give him enough credit because he always finds a way to win. We recognize that, but you know, he's still like that's a little too close for comfort for me with Jackson Turley, which I feel like Micaiah should be up here and Turley should be down here comparatively when you look at each of their resumes. And the fact that the score is not as lopsided concerns me some.
Yeah, perfect example of that of too close for comfort is Jason Surtees. National champion as a freshman, and then did he even All-American as a or no, he did as a senior.
Yeah, no, he went first, fourth, didn't place, and then took like 7th or 8th
at Arizona State when he transferred. Yeah, but that was a guy who just like won by 1 point every match.
Yep. Yeah, he lived he would win in overtime, and he felt comfortable winning in overtime and all that, and then people learn. You just gotta score. If you score, you can beat them, and hey, that's what happened.
Yeah,
but
and then Slavikowski of Rutgers, the heavyweight, beats Hunter Katka 4-1. So that
was actually a little closer than I was expecting. I thought Slavikowski was going to maybe win by a slightly larger margin.
Yeah,
ever so slightly.
It's heavyweight.
I was surprised to see Dayton Pitzer pin Nate Taylor Lehigh, especially because Pitzer took a loss I think last weekend.
Nate Taylor's a big boy, and Nate Taylor beat Owen Treffen, who was a top 10 guy. And yeah, you're right, Pitzer did take a loss, but I mean, hey, we're in wrestling season.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's always fun when you get those triangles of like, oh, this guy beat this guy beat this guy, but he lost to this guy, and it's the same three people being talked about. Um, oh yeah, Pitzer lost to Grady Grease of Navy,
Yep.
4-2, which I was not
I mean,
anticipating.
he's a top 30 guy though.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Grady Grease is a slouch, but like
Yeah.
after last season with Pitzer, coming onto the stage there and kind of making some noise early on. Uh, he beat Tyree Hooton, he beat Nate Taylor, he beat Trent Hilger, he beat Colton Schultz. He was like really making a name for himself. I mean, he lost to Lucas Davison at the Midlands last year. Like he was really coming out the gate hot. I had higher hopes for his season. I was thinking that he'd be able to
He got
handle.
injured last year though, right?
I
Got the
think he
medical
was.
red
No, I
shirt.
think he was. Yeah, it was either a medical red shirt or just a red shirt. Red shirt. Um. So. Oh no, yeah, I think it might. Yeah, I don't know if it was a medical red shirt or a red shirt. Red shirt, but yeah, I just expected more from him based on like that, just booming onto the stage, really making a name for himself, and then losing to Grady Grease is a little underwhelming. But hey, maybe it's just the beginning of the season jitters or something.
Still early, still November, only week 3.
So, although Gabe Arnold was an exciting member of the Iowa duel with Oregon State, I was definitely underwhelmed with a couple of performances.
Who was that? Who was that?
Well, for one, Victor Voinovich continues to be underwhelming. Last week, losing to Ferrari, and then this week he won in overtime over Singleton. Like,
Who's unranked?
yeah, unranked Singleton. Like, Voinovich, you were round 12 guy. Like, what?
At
What's going
Iowa
on?
now.
You're at Iowa now. Like, what's going on? Like, you're causing some concern. There's now cause for concern here. I am a little bit worried about how the rest of your season is going to progress.
Drop a comment down below. Is Victor Voinovich going to be the postseason guy for Iowa in March at the Big Tens? Will he
Or
be
is he going to be another Caleb Young or Alex Marinelli who, come NCAAs, does not land where you want him to land? Like,
No, I'm saying, is he even going to be the starter?
you
I
think,
mean, like if Ferrari
Ferrari
comes in, like
Ferrari might, yeah, that's true. If Ferrari comes in next semester, he might just bump him off the freaking. That's a
yeah,
good point. I didn't even think of that.
yeah, yeah, interesting.
Huh? Yeah,
Especially like if like if they're pulling the trigger on Gabe Arnold, which they might be. True
uh,
freshman.
I mean, yeah,
They
they
could do
gotta
the same with
be.
Ferrari.
Yeah, they gotta be pretty excited
Did
about.
Okie State did that with AJ for true freshman.
That's true.
Anyway, and then yeah, another guy that I'm sure you were alluding to is Mikey Caliendo, 15-10 win over Foret. I don't know if
Yeah,
the
Kakana Ferret.
yeah. Um, I didn't get to see this match. I just saw the score. Maybe people in the comments, Iowa fans, maybe it was a lot more dominant than it looks. But
I mean, you gave up 10 points to.
well, all it takes is one move to score 7 points.
Okay, I guess, but at the same time.
Hey, it's still a win. A win is a win. Is a win is a win.
Yeah, I mean, but also that guy is their backup.
Yeah, I know.
Like there was some matches I wanted to see this weekend that were potential matchups, and one of those matchups was Matt Alguin on Caliendo. They've wrestled before. Like that's an exciting matchup to have happen. And and for whatever reason, Algoin did not wrestle.
Early season ducking.
Yeah, early season ducking by Matt Algoin. Matt Algoin beat Caliendo 9-8 at NCAAs. Like,
Yeah.
that's an exciting match. I was looking forward to them rematching in the duel. But did that happen? No.
No.
So another match I was looking forward to was Richie Figueroa's debut against Noah Certain. I thought that'd be cool. You know, that'd be an exciting matchup. No, Arizona State didn't send out Figueroa. Arizona State didn't send out many of their starters, including Colton Schultz, who didn't want to wrestle. What was it, Zach Alam?
Yeah.
I mean, no wonder the Arizona State didn't send out all their starters and they lost 39-6. I thought that duel was going to be like a, exciting fireworks duel, and it turned into
that and Ja'Cory Toomer is I probably still hurt from his head bump.
Well, I don't know if it's because I know they changed the 57 match for the NWCA All-Star Classic, but then I thought I heard also Haynes is dealing with an injury as well.
Yeah, so they're both banged up.
Yeah, so that stinks. So yeah, Mahler Teamer could have been awesome because Mahler's been looking like he should have been at 57 last year. Like, he's looking unlike himself in a good way. And then for whatever reason, Lehigh, they didn't send out Malik Hines against Cole Matthews. So that was another matchup that I was looking forward to that just it didn't happen. So disappointing. But I mean, there was a lot of great wrestling this weekend. The upsets continue to string in, not as many, high tiered, high level, or the big name guys going down, but that can't be every week.
No. Yeah. And the last one, I know we went out of order. We were just kind of jumping around. But the last one that we were talking about is Bo Bartlett over teammate Tyler Kazak. 4-1
than I thought. Yeah.
4-1. Now, if you're Tyler Kazak, you're a top 10 guy on the big board out of high school. You're going to be riding bench, or you're going to be redshirting this year. And then you're going to be riding bench against to Bartlett next year. If you bump up, you got to beat Van Ness. So you're losing.
Unless Van Ness and Haynes are both thinking of going up, but then maybe they're not.
Well, then Mitch Messerbrink, does he go up too? Do they shift everyone up?
Maybe.
It's just like not everyone can go to Penn State.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Like we were saying, like there's these great guys who are on the bench, and like, are they just complacent being on bench? Like that would rub me so wrong. Like knowing, like I just beat another team's All-American, but I won't.
Well, how about Anthony Cassar, the year he beat Colin Moore, the #1 ranked undefeated guy going into that duel, and he beats Colin Moore only to ride the bench the rest of the season.
But it's like they're okay with it. Like I don't know what type of Kool-Aid Kale is feeding them over there, but it's working.
I mean, it's working overtime because they're leaps and bounds above the next best team. So
yeah. So those are the major matches. Upsets week 3. Drop a comment down below. What were some of the most surprising matches you've seen, and what do you think is going to happen with Penn State, with Iowa? We're going to do a separate video on Iowa versus Iowa State. That's going to be an exciting match coming up. What, next weekend is that one?
The week from it's the 26th.
Yeah, 1 week from today, our day of filming. But lots of great wrestling going on so far. So make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. By the way, we were very close to 1,000 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button if you're still watching. We really, really appreciate all the viewers, especially if you're still viewing to this point. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. We are Cactus Wrestling, and we'll see you next time on our next video.